Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan Series Multiverse. Welcome to a new series that I'm planning to start doing. This series is called Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan Series Discussions, as you can see up there in the corner. I am Dushan Darkwolf. Some of you probably already know me as the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! Dragon Warriors and, resident Gacha Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan Series creator of the community. Well, I would say I'm one of the more well-known ones. At least I would say that. I don't know. What this series is going to be about is I'm just gonna be discussing some stuff. I'm just gonna be talking about some random stuff for a bit, like stuff like reboots, new episodes of the show coming out, like different states of them. One thing that I will definitely never talk about, I just want to say, is drama, because I don't like drama. So yeah, I'm not gonna be focusing on any of that kind of stuff. It's just that I'm going to be discussing some stuff, theorizing on some things and whatnot, like if a new show is coming out and that kind of stuff. I am in no way a professional or anything. This is all just on a fly. I just have like a list of topics that I'm gonna be talking about, and I just talk about them on the fly, what I personally think and all that kind of stuff. So, as you probably noticed by the title, today we're gonna be talking about the reboot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Chaoscharge made by Jace Hubbard. For those who don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Chaoscharge was a series started by Jace Hubbard back in, like, I think the first few episodes were in like 2017, maybe 18, maybe it was on the cusp of Link Summoning, which was like 2017, somewhere like that. And it lasted all the way till 2019, until Jace's channel went through a whole reboot, essentially, on itself, and there was also a lot of stuff happening in real life for Jace. There was also Kappa getting introduced, and that caused Chaoscharge to be cancelled and then deleted from YouTube, with there being about 27 episodes made, with one special 1 year anniversary episode, which was a crossover with James Sullivan's Yu-Gi-Oh! Series Yu-Gi-Oh! Ragnarok, which would be the second crossover. And Jace is now rebooting that. That was originally a live-action series, and now it's going to be a Vyond style series. For anybody who follows Jace Hubbard knows that he was already working on some Vyond style duels before. He has 4 episodes of that on his channel. You can check those out on your own. I will probably leave it in the description if I remember. So there are a few topics that I want to talk about when it comes to the Chaoscharge reboot. Some of my personal stuff that I'm going to be talking about. So the first topic that I'm going to be talking about is the intro. Now, we don't have the intro for Chaoscharge yet. We only had the trailer. So that makes me wonder what song is Jace going to use, because if I remember correctly, and I should because I watched Chaoscharge several times, it's one of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows to watch. The intros that Jace had, or at least songs for the intros that he had, were first Everywhere I Go by Unlap. Another one was a theme that even I'm using right now for Yu-Gi-Oh! Dragon Warriors, Savior of Song, though I'm using the English cover. I'm pretty sure he was using the original, if I'm not wrong. Or maybe that was another Japanese cover, I don't know. The third one he used was Skillet Monster, but it was the cover of the song. The fourth one, I believe, was a remix of the original Duel Monsters theme. I don't know where he got that one. I've been looking for it for a while, but I cannot find that specific remix of the theme. And that fucking frustrates me, because that's actually a great theme. It's a great remix. And the last intro that Jace had for Chaoscharge was a Miracle by Unlap. However, there was also another Yu-Gi-Oh! Series called Yu-Gi-Oh! Immortal Bonds that he did back in 2020, which was around the time when I started Dragon Warriors, funny enough. And in that one, the theme song for that series was called Armageddon. I forgot who made that song, though. It could be a new song for the intro, or maybe it could be one of the older ones. I'm gonna say that if it's going to be one of the old ones, it's either going to be Miracle or Everywhere I Go. I don't know, those songs are the ones that resonate the most with Jace. Like, when I hear those songs, I immediately think, yes, Jace Hubbard. That's the first person I think about when I hear those songs. So that's why I think it's going to be one of those two. There's also a possibility that Jace could be using a completely new song for the opening. I could be wrong, of course. We'll have to wait and see, just like with everything else that I'm going to be talking about today is just me theorizing and guessing and whatnot and just discussing. But I'm just saying that, like, if he's going to be using one of the old ones, it's definitely going to be either Miracle or Everywhere I Go. Those are the ones that I like. When I hear them, I just think about Jace Hubbard the most when I hear those two specifically. So the next topic is I'm gonna be talking about the deck of the main villain, Regirever. For those who don't know, Regirever was the main villain of the original Chaoscharge, and he made an appearance in Immortal Bonds. And in both of those, he played a rocket deck with Borreloads, obviously. Well, Borrel Dragons, not Borreloads. He's running one Borreload Dragon. But in the trailer, it was shown that a newer character, a female character whose name we don't know because she was not in the original series, is gonna be playing Borreload Dragon, so that probably means that she is going to be playing rockets. So that begs the question, what is Regirever gonna be playing? Well, James Sullivan did a breakdown on the Reboot trailer, and he theorized, and this was something that I was also thinking about while watching, like, what is Reggie's deck going to be, and he and I coincidentally just both thought, what if he was playing Chaos? Because in the intro, one of the monsters that was shown was Chaos Emperor Dragon, which is a card that was never played in Chaoscharge by literally anybody in the show. Nobody in the show played Chaos Emperor Dragon. So that begs the question, who does Chaos Emperor Dragon belong to? Does it belong to Reggie? He could be playing a Chaos deck. It would be fitting because, you know, the series is called Chaoscharge, and Reggie is the leader of the Chaos Knights who use Chaos Xyz monsters in order to, you know, fight. So it is a very big possibility that Reggie could be playing a Chaos deck just to keep in theme. Another way he could be keeping in theme is another deck that I was thinking about he could be playing is Sharks. Because one of the things about the original Chaoscharge is we never found out who played number 101. We never found out who played Silent Honor Arc and Silent Honor Dark in the original Chaoscharge. I was thinking that it was probably going to be Reggie. Because, you know, he's a leader of the Chaos Knights. It would be fitting if he had his own Chaos Xyz, you know, and a number. So I was thinking maybe, possibly, he could be playing a Shark deck. Because Shark deck also has several other Chaos Xyz monsters like Shark Drake Vice and Abyss Super Splash. There's probably some others that I'm forgetting about, but those are the ones that are currently on top of my head. So I was thinking maybe that, and also another reason why I'm thinking that is because that is a deck that can easily bring out most of the over 100 numbers. As we've seen, for anybody who's watched the movie series, know that in the Shadow Tournament, you know, one of the characters played a Shark deck with all of the over 100 numbers. So that's another deck that I'm thinking about, and a third deck that I'm thinking about, and this is something that even James thought of. In Yu-Gi-Oh! Immortal Bonds, there was another character that voice-wise and appearance-wise was very similar to Reggie. That character's name was never figured out. We never knew what the character's name was because Immortal Bonds was cancelled after its 5th episode. But he played Adignisters with Fireball Dragon Dark Fluid. So, another theory is that Reggie could be playing Adignisters with Dark Fluid in it, or, you know, Rival Cyber's Adignister. Either way, that could also be a very interesting deck for Reggie. Even though I think that the previous two options are definitely more fitting, you know, because they go in theme with the show and what its main premise is. So even though it's, you know, unlikely, it's still a possibility, something to leave on the table for, you know, food for thought, essentially. Another deck that Reggie could be playing, though this one I'm a bit iffy on because of how it is in the actual, how boring it is in the actual game, and that's Numeron. Numeron could be another in-theme deck for Reggie to play, but unfortunately, Numeron is a very boring deck to watch play. So even though it's on theme and it would be fitting, still, it's probably not the best option, but oh, who am I to say? Maybe Jace is going to be choosing that deck for Reggie. You never know. So another thing that was a mystery in the original Chaoscharge because it was cancelled, we never found out what was Reggie's end goal. So throughout the series, the reason he was sending Chaos Knights was to collect duel energy and to take down Jace because Jace was in the way. So that brings the question, what was Reggie doing? Like, what was he going to be using all of the duel energy for? Was he going to revive something like a god card or something? I don't know. The Egyptian god cards, the wicked god cards, something. I don't know. So I'm thinking maybe, since, you know, to keep in theme, a card that he needs all the duel energy for is, well, Chaos Xyz's Baryon Hope. Obviously. I mean, obviously that is one of the cards that, you know, comes to mind immediately, because the premise of the show are Chaos Xyz monsters, including the over 100 numbers, or the Baryon numbers. So that could be one of the cards that he's collecting all the duel energy for. Maybe that card requires a lot of duel energy in order for it to be revived and then used, which would also bring back the Shark deck being played, because that means that Reggie can play Baryon Hope in his Shark deck, because he would also have an over 100 number in there. To be fair, you can probably play, you know, an over 100 number in Chaos. It's just, you know, it's hard to play it because it locks you into lights and darks, so playing number 101 is, you know, kind of difficult. But still, it's a possibility. But yeah, so we went over the intro, Reggie Rever and his deck, and what his end goal could be. Now let's talk about another character, and this character was not even featured in the actual intro. A very important character in the original Chaoscharge. I'm talking about Dragon Archer. Who Dragon Archer was, I'm gonna give a bit of a background here. He was originally somebody that Jace went to Duel Academy with. For those who don't know, in the original, Jace's Pendulum deck with the Dimension Dragons was actually the deck of Yuna Sakaki, like the actual Yuna Sakaki deck. And, well, Jace won it off of a trial, by winning a trial. He was doing a duel puzzle in order to, you know, get it. Alongside him was Dragon, who was the first one to try to win that duel puzzle, and then he failed. Then, later in life, in his first episode, he came back with Zark Magicians, and the Supreme King versions of the Dimension Dragons. His deck was try to summon Hubbard the Mega Monarch, destroy itself, special summon Astrograph, and send 8 extra deck monsters to the graveyard, activate the effect of Astrograph, banish Runai's Pendulum Dragon, Dark Requiem Xyz Dragon, Greedy Venom Fusion Dragon, and Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon to bring out Zark. And then use Supreme Rage later to bring back all of the Supreme King versions of the Dimension Dragons. Back then he was under Master Rule 4, but because of the Supreme King Rage, he could bring them out from the graveyard, because he sent them there with the board. So that was a very funny combo, but that was mostly what he did almost all of the time throughout the show, so it became kind of predictable, but also, like, still a very interesting thing. The thing is, though, now Jace is going to be having Zark in the reboot from the start, it appears. So that brings the question, is Dragon Archer even gonna be a character in the series? And if he is, what is he gonna be doing? Well, a theory that I have in mind for Dragon is, what if he's playing new cards from the Age of Overlord? You know, the Supreme Odd-Eyes Rage, whatever her name is, the Ray version of Zark, alongside of the light version of the Supreme King Dragon Light Worm and all that stuff. What if he comes back playing that kind of stuff in order to defeat Jace and take away his Dimension Dragons and Zark? You could still be playing Supreme King Dragons for all we know. You know, Jace doesn't have to play those. He could be just, you know, Dragon could be the one running them. Another thing he could be playing alongside them, though, could be the manga versions of the Dimension Dragons. The Odyssey Phantom Dragon, Anthelion, Fast Dragon, and Starving Venomy. But those are not the Fusion XZ Synchro and Pendulum Dragons, so I don't know how well that would work, but it is a possibility. You never know. That is a theory for that character. Another thing, and the last thing that I want to talk about is... I forgot his full name, but I believe that his name, I didn't fact check before recording this. I know, like I said, I'm not a professional or anything. I'm very bad at this, but I want to talk about Kaiser. The champion from Jace's previously mentioned Vyond style Duel series. So, in that series, that character is a champion. We don't know exactly of what, but he's like a champion. Maybe he's a regional champion, maybe he's like a US champion, I don't know. Something like that. And, well, he plays Armed Dragon Thunder with Cyberdarks. And he is going to be a relevant character in the Chaoscharge reboot, judging by the trailer. So that means that the new Chaoscharge is going to be taking place in the Vyond style Duel universe. So that brings the question, he is the champion and whatnot, but what is going to be his role in the series? Another possible theory about him, and this one comes from James as well, as he mentioned it in the breakdown, he could also be, for all we know, Regirever in disguise. Maybe being Kaiser and like a champion, there is, you know, his public image, and Regirever is what he is in the back, you know, in the shadows, hiding behind the curtain. That would be interesting, but it's highly unlikely, especially how different they appear in the intro, and different glasses also look different in the trailer. And also it appears that the Reggie could be having a completely different hair, but you know, it could be a wig, it could be a hair dye, you never know. But other than that, what is his goal? What is he going to be in the series? There is another character in the series who is a champion type character, and that is Tobias Riptor. He was the main rival of Jace in the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Chaoscharge, and he was a Pedro Canauer clone, just like several other rivals in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan series community. And he is going to be a character in the reboot again. But that brings up the question, since Kaiser seems to be the champion, does that mean that he stole the title from Tobias? Could that be a possibility? Is it not gonna be Jace this time? Or is Tobias a different kind of champion from Kaiser? And is Jace going to be taking, you know, Tobias's title once again? Is there going to be maybe some kind of tournament arc where they are trying to defeat Kaiser? It's a very interesting thing to talk about, because Kaiser has no connection to the original Chaoscharge. There was nobody who played Cyberdarks or Armed Dragons or anything like that in the original Chaoscharge, especially not Armed Dragon Thunder, because, you know, Chaoscharge is older than, you know, Armed Dragon Thunders, and it ended way before they were introduced. So it's really interesting to talk about Kaiser as a character, because you just don't know what he could, what his role could be. Another thing about Jace in the original was that his parents kind of just abandoned him, apparently, because they were afraid of his power as a duelist, and the fact that, you know, he now has the Supreme King dragons and whatnot. Or Dimension Dragons, I should be saying. Supreme Kings are a different version of those. So that brings up the question, with the similar hair to Jace, what if that is like his father or something? Imagine if Kaiser was like Jace's father or something. That is a bit of a crazy theory. But, you know, that's still a theory. It's a possibility. You never know. The hair matches, and also they both play a deck focused on big dragons. It's just a theory, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Theory, I know, but still, it's something to consider. Another thing that to bring up on Kaiser is, what is he? Is he a hero? Is he an anti-hero? Is he just neutral? Is he a villain? I personally think that he's probably just going to be some kind of neutral character. I feel like he's going to be the type of character have his own, like, party, essentially. Like, there's, like, 3 parties. There's Jace and his friends, there's Reggie and the Chaos Knights, and then there's Kaiser and whatever. And if Dragon Archer gets reintroduced into the series, then, then that makes 4 parties technically, unless Dragon is on the same party as Kaiser, which is highly unlikely. They're way too different for that to be the case, because Dragon is a very vengeful and egotistical motherfucker, while Kaiser is very humble and very, you know, down to earth, but also very skilled and serious. But his inclusion also brings me to another point. If he's part of the series, that implies that Chaoscharge Reboot is going to be taking place in the Vyond style duel universe that Jace already made. So that means that we might get that one kid from episode 3 who played the rock deck against the Gem Knight Thief. Episode 2 of the show was a birthday present for James Sullivan, as it features James dueling against a cop. And so that means that James does exist in this universe. So, with that possibility, there is also a possibility of James, once again, just like in the original Chaoscharge, being part of the Chaos Knights. Though last time Reggie managed to sway James on his side, because James was in a very desperate situation, because if he lost, he would have died, and Reggie was there to give him an option: either do as I say or fucking die, loser. So with you know, Chaoscharge Reboot not really taking place in the same continuity as the original Ragnarok anymore, essentially, that brings the question of, like, if that James still exists in this universe, you know, the one from the Vyond style duels, then how is he going to play a role in the series? If he's going to play a role in the series, is he still going to be swayed in some way? Is he gonna be put in a difficult situation where he will need Reggie's help again? Or will Reggie bribe him or lie to him in some way, shape, or form in order to make him duel against Jace? That is something that I kind of thought of on the spot, because I remembered. Also, that kid who played the rock deck, I kind of forgot his name, but what role could he be playing? I know I'm looking way too much into it, because, you know, we don't even see those guys in the trailer or anything. These are just mentions and whatnot, but still, it's something to theorize about. Will Jace and his friends go to some kind of adventure of some kind, looking for Reggie and the Chaos Knights? Is there going to be a chase after something, or that they will need his help to, like, travel around? Like, maybe they will go to Egypt or something like that, and they will need his help traversing the place in order to find Reggie and the others. I'm just going nuts about this, which is kind of the point of this whole miniseries is going to be when I talk about this kind of stuff, but still, it's just something to think about, because of, like, what the trailer established. There is a lot of things to discuss. There is a lot that I wanted to discuss today. There is a lot that there is a lot of my terrible improv, because, you know, I am not a professional, as I said twice already before. This is the 3rd time I say this. But yeah, that is all the discussions I had for today for Yu-Gi-Oh! Chaoscharge Reboot. All the little theories that I thought of, all the little what-ifs and whatnot. Who knows, maybe this feeds Jace with ideas for the Chaoscharge Reboot that he didn't have before. Maybe I was just thinking about this way too much, and Jace just said, maybe I can actually do something with it. You never know. All in all, I hope you guys enjoyed this little, me just talking shit for almost 30 minutes. I don't know when the next episode is going to be. Something else interesting needs to happen for me to actually warrant a discussion, so, you know, I'll see you around, everyone.